Hey there, fans of Brotherly Love Wrestling. It is I, Vic Delicious,
Philly's own, the Mecca here.
It is the real McCoy, J.D. Axe, Justin D. Xavier. And
it's your man, CD, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend, RJ City.
Hey there, Brotherly Love Wrestling. Bill Carr here.
Hey everyone, this is two-time guest Wheeler Yuta.
Two bozos from Philadelphia flapping their gums about pro wrestling this, pro wrestling that.
Which is not that unique in the grand scheme of things yet.
You are in for a treat because you're tuned in to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Philadelphia, are you ready?
He said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Welcome, everybody, to Brotherly Love Wrestling, the Essential Series. And our topic today is the greatest factions of all time. And we are, well, I am wearing at least one of the greatest factions of all time. The BWO is entertaining as hell, but I don't feel like they are going to make high on the list anyway. Maybe notable, but still, BWO is great, but not one of the greatest of all time.
I'll give you that, but we're here to discuss gonna be a long show. Discuss the greatest factions of all time. Personally, I think of 1 and 1A, and then the rest are debatable. I think that there's two that are the greatest of all time for different reasons, and then the rest are debatable. The 3, 4, and 5, if we were to do a top 5, could all be interchanged, and there could even be a 6, 7, 8 that could sneak into top 5 as well.
So how about we do this? Usually we do top 5 every other. We've done ones where we've gone top 10. How about we go, since you believe there's a definite 1 and 1A. I agree with you. I think there are two that belong up top.
Do you know the two that I'm thinking of?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping I do. I feel like as we've done this show and found out, we're pretty good when it comes to the same stuff.
Let's see how in sync by we are.
I apologize for that joke. That was bad.
I could have sang it. It could have been much worse.
It could have been. I agree.
I gave you I should have did the freaking the Austin Powers. We're so in sync. Was that Austin Powers or Dr. Evil?
That was Austin Powers, and it was Goldmember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
right.
One of my favorite ones. That's why. All right, let's start this. One. You said 1 and 1A, so there has to be one that edges the other for the 1 and 1A.
No, it means they're interchangeable. Depending on who's looking at it.
Okay,
it has to be someone's one.
I got you.
Probably likelihood is one generation's one and one other generation's one, and then they interchange it. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So now that should give you a really good idea. I'm going to let you say the first one because after we did the Randy Orton, I got 3. So I'll let you say the first one and I'll fill in the blank.
I feel
because I know you're going to pick one.
Yeah, I agree. I
know you're going to.
I'm pretty safe with that.
What if you don't? I'm going to be so fucking mad.
I don't think you're going to be. I think everyone has, for the most part, majority. If you took a poll, I think 85 to 90% of the people would have the 4 Horsemen is number 1. And that's, for me, that when I think of faction, I think of the 4 Horsemen. They define what a stable is in wrestling. They are the ultimate.
The Horsemen, the OG Horsemen.
Yes, of course, which is what we're talking about.
We're in the 70s, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So that generation, I think that generation probably says Horsemen. Like if I were to ask my dad,
hands down.
He'd probably say the Horsemen.
I agree.
I would bet dollars to donuts that he would say the Horsemen. So I think that generation, 50s, 60s.
So you don't think that?
No, hold on.
Lot? Okay.
50s, 60s. I think that's 100%.
I agree.
I think that's 100% ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got 30s, 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it starts to split a little bit, but I think 40s would probably lean more towards Horsemen still.
Mm-hmm.
I think as you trickle down into our age, I think that's where it skews a little bit.
Okay.
Because personally, I don't think the Horsemen are the greatest faction of all time because I didn't live through the glory days of the Four Horsemen. I got, I think, 3 or 4 integrations of the Four Horsemen. Like I wasn't around for I wasn't around for the Tully days. Like I think I was just I know my dad talked about Arn, Ole, Rick, Tully. Like I've seen them when I was a kid, but I couldn't relate because when I was a kid, I think it was Flair, Anderson, I want to say Barry Windham. And
if we're talking early 90s, right?
Yeah. I think Larry Zbyszko.
Well, yeah.
I think that was my generation of Four Horsemen. And then I got
Mongo.
I got
Benoit.
Now that we're on, and now we can have fun with it because you're the one that brought him up, and it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Mongo back in the day when you watched it, you couldn't wait, and you had it was the whole thing was like, I can't wait for this to be over. I don't understand what this is. Like even when you're a kid, you're like, why is this happening? This looks painful, and I'm a kid. Like I shouldn't be feeling awkward. This is probably why the kids in their 30s who watch wrestling are awkward because they had to watch shit like that. It makes them feel awkward. Someone that's going to give you anxiety. That's probably the main reason. The main reason why wrestling fans have so much anxiety because they had to watch Mongo McMichaels. And then you watch it now, you're like, this is bad, but this is comically.
Yes,
this is comically bad. Like, you can go back and watch Mongo matches, and you're just like, okay, this is what 4 million people were watching at one point.
Was there a Twitter account that we used to follow that did Mongo?
It was great.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called now, what the Twitter handle was.
It was all Mongo. It was incredible. It was one of the best things going. I don't know where that person went because I think they also made up the Rick Rude takes atomic drops.
Yes.
And that was incredible. Those were the 2 best. Yes. It was Mongo, Fallies, or whatever the hell it was. And it was Rick Rude getting fucking atomic drops.
Yes.
It was the greatest 2. It was, if you're looking for 1-2 fucking Twitter, the 1-2 punch that's a knockout blow, it was those 2.
Yes.
It's the greatest.
I know. I agree.
That was WCW. So I don't understand why people, like the people that hated WCW, like if you go back and watch it now, a lot of it still holds up. But a lot of it you can still watch through like drunk glasses and be like, this is bad, but at least it's fucking funny.
All right, so here, and I don't think I've ever said this to you. The reason I couldn't watch WCW when I was a kid, and I refused to, was, I mean,
if you say Mongo,
no, primarily was because I was
because Shawn Michaels wasn't on the show.
Team WWF, not WCW, because I grew up. But when I did watch WCW, the thing I would always see more of there than WWE was, I could see them pulling their punches. I could see them pulling their kicks, where it was less obvious in WWE. For me as a kid, and I'm only saying what I saw.
No, I'm not saying that's not a valid argument.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you were a kid, we didn't want to be told it wasn't real.
Yes.
So the camera angles and the production for WWF were better at the time than WCW. I will give you that.
And I felt, well, that's just what always would bother me about WCW. It always seemed, now look, that was early. I'm not talking like watching Jericho and Mysterio and all of them when they were coming up, they were doing that. I'm just saying, I remember watching early WCW.
Well, they put in,
and it wasn't good for me.
It wasn't necessarily early WCW because you're probably still talking about 97, 98, 99, which isn't early WCW. That's right in the middle of the.
I was talking like not when Nitro started, like 96. Like early, like that's what I'm saying. Early Nitro, early Monday Night War, like when they were first matched up and you had 2 things to watch before it was actual wars.
The product wasn't that great. They didn't have the star power.
And they didn't hook me until Hogan turned. And then that's when I started watching WCW.
Well, that's when
everyone
started watching WCW.
But of course.
There was numbers to prove WCW winning for a certain amount of time. We all know that amount of time. But I mean, I could see, you said what, 80% of fans would probably put Horsemen.
I feel like.
See, I mean, they still have relevance today. They're still looked at. And for the length of time and how old they are, I think that probably edges them out. I personally, they're not my favorite just because of the.
Yeah, that was a long-winded way for us to get to 1A too.
No, I know. But
We went pretty far
all
with
ties
that.
back together.
Yeah.
Which is what this episode is going to be about. So if you don't like crazy rants, then I mean, turn it off now. That's pretty much our.
If you're watching our show, I feel like you're used to that.
If you're listening, like you know that this will take a one big turn, and we will eventually get back to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Which is right now, thankfully.
Yeah.
So they're not my favorite because they weren't like I get the staple was always there, but I mean, I also got the Benoit, Mongo, like that.
That's the Horsemen. When I first watched it, I thought that was the four Horsemen.
It surprises me.
Yes,
that's the four Horsemen you would pick as the number one. Or you're saying that just for they're not your favorite either.
No, they're not. And I thought we were doing the greatest. Period.
No. I think you're right. I think four Horsemen. Like I said, 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
I think as you trickle down, and I would say 40s and 30s. I think that's your biggest.
Yeah,
your biggest.
I wouldn't pick them as my favorite, no, but the greatest stable faction of all time to me,
just
the greatest.
I guess just for longevity, I guess Horsemen.
Yeah,
but my personal favorite, which I think had the biggest impact in all of professional wrestling, and that's why you have so many other factions. That's why this one is why you have all of the rest, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay,
and that's the NWO.
Okay,
they were my favorite. I was a WCW guy,
obviously.
And I loved rooting against them because obviously my favorite was Sting.
Yes.
So I was able to feel everything, and they made you feel everything that they wanted you to feel.
Even when everyone was with the NWO, did you still hate the NWO?
Sting,
like you were kayfabe hating, like you hated the NWO?
I didn't like the NWO.
Okay.
But
I was just.
But as I grow, like now, that's what they wanted.
Of course.
And they were cool because I was right on the cusp of that.
So did you not have an NWO shirt?
No, not as a kid. I had a Wolfpack shirt.
Okay, but that's
Sting.
Yes,
I had the Wolfpack shirts. So wherever Sting went, me and my father went. No matter wherever Sting went, we went as fans because we were fans of him. And that's why I will always say I will never support a company. It's funner that way. That's the way it should be. You should always support your favorites instead of a company. It doesn't make any sense to care about a company. Wherever your favorites go, that's how I've always been. That's why I always say, fuck companies. I don't care. I'm not a company person. I like wrestlers that I enjoy watching that might wrestle for a
You like
promotion.
the person you're actually watching wrestle.
The thing that gets me is, though, when the person that I like to wrestle goes somewhere and they're not the person that I like to see wrestle anymore. That's the thing that bothers me. That's the thing, like, but the good thing is that accessibility is everywhere and I can watch whatever the fuck I want. But anyway, Sting was anti-NWO, which made me anti-NWO. And I grew up in a household that was very pro-Sting.
True.
So we were very anti-NWO. It wasn't until I was older until I was able to say, like, this was the most iconic faction, one of the most iconic moments in wrestling history.
Period. You're right.
Just period.
You're right.
Watching it. That's why I think, like, the Horsemen inspired other factions.
I'm surprised. I honestly didn't see this is what that's where I would have got it wrong. I would have got the NWO wrong 100% because, again, I'm looking at factions like that are the very top, and I see the second one that came for me was the Hart Foundation.
Hart Foundation is a staple in professional wrestling factions. But did they have as big of an impact on
the
entirety of wrestling?
Yeah.
Did they draw everyone to watch? Like, literally took millions of eyes off of WWE and made wrestling and sparked your T-shirt.
Yes. Yeah.
Sparked my T-shirt.
Yes.
Sparked this for the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
How many other memorable factions were created just because this faction was it? And now it got diluted.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on this before I got diluted because more people were in it, you're going to say, right?
Yeah, I think every faction gets diluted, though.
Yeah, of course.
They either run their course or they get diluted.
Yeah. But okay.
That's just what happens. The Horsemen diluted in my generation.
Is this more the impact? Because if we're talking, like, How are we
grading? Are we gating? Great. Are you saying are we grading the members over the actual faction?
Yes.
No, because then
matches and like see because
are you dealing with matches too?
Not matches. I shouldn't say that.
No,
because that
I'm just
forever.
I'm just going on faction relevancy,
Impact.
what they did for the business.
Okay.
I mean, NWO had Hulk Hogan. I mean,
well, of course
we know what he is now, but when back then, you knew who fucking Hulk Hogan was. Everyone in the fucking universe knew who Hulk Hogan was. Him turning bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, we know what he is now. But back then, if you were to just fucking escape what world we're living in right now, which we don't do, you go back in time and look at it. Yeah, the NWO had the right pieces. Then everyone was fucking in it and
ruined it.
Yeah, ruined it. And they never had a payoff with fucking NWO and the Wolfpack. Never a proper payoff or anything like that to have factions go against each other. But for 2.5 years, they were it. And they're still it today. When you're going to see more NWO shirts than you will Four Horsemen shirts. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Wait. That's unfair, though, because, hey, the 90s sparked the wrestling T-shirt more than anything. As far as the NWO, the Austin 316, the DX, like
here, I'll put it this way: more people have NWO shirts than any other faction.
Yeah,
more people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, but
100%.
there's a percentage that you're cutting off. The Attitude Era sparked.
No, but I'm saying
T-shirt
all right, we already made our number one. We already made our number one. Now I'm talking about 1A.
Yeah.
For a completely different reason of number one.
Yeah.
But you're saying they sparked everything else.
Yes.
They still have more people have more people have more of that.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And that's why they're my one and I get it. More people are going to outnumber me probably for the Horsemen, but that's why I'm saying 1 and 1A. I think those are the only two that you could put in there. And
you know what?
I think the rest are interchangeable. I really think the rest are completely interchangeable.
Here's where
for what they were. I mean, you have to look at what they are now.
Yeah. No, and that's why I think I kind of took it a different way.
That's fine. You're going with the members.
Yes. I looked at Tully, Arn, Nature Boy. Like, I'm looking down the list. I'm going, these are a Mount Rushmore of alone. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like, when I look at the NWO, don't get me wrong, Hall, Nash, and Hogan are all-timers.
Yeah.
For sure. But, again, the watered-down thing is
getting to you? No, I'm talking about the NWO
as
the first 6.
Okay. All right.
And I'll even throw Giant out of there because I don't think he helped. I don't think he helped that much.
I agree. I think it started to get watered down from there on.
Well, no, because then they got 6.
No, I did. I mean,
after
the core group
after 6 was like I think you get Bagwell,
DiBiase.
Yeah, I think DiBiase would have been before Bagwell, but DiBiase was a manager at that point. Like that's fine.
Yeah, and Rick Rude, of course, coming over as well.
The managers, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Although I'd like to see because they eventually had Bischoff. I would have liked to have seen managers go elsewhere and be managers for other people. But I mean, in hindsight, we didn't know what the whole plan was for the NWO, and the NWO was supposed to be its own brand. So you learn that after the fact. You're like, all right, I guess I understand why people, but and it really never came to fruition. It just looked like everybody joined.
And you had 6 limos pull up at the beginning of Nitro.
Yeah. It did get diluted, but I'm talking about Impact and.
Okay, I understand. I got you.
And if you're going to look at members, pretty strong members. If you were to take, Flair is on a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So is Hogan.
Yeah.
He's on People's.
100%. Yeah.
He's on People's. People's is People's. So, if you're taking it off of that, like that's why I'm saying like Hart Foundation. Bret Hart's probably on a lot of people's. DX.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels is probably on a lot of people's. Triple H fucking might be too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like if you're just taking the members, like there's one singled out in each one. So you got to take them as a group.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it makes sense. I get that.
All right. So we got Horsemen, NWO. We know what all members were. So who else is an essential?
So I've actually been looking at this list that I have in front of me, and
I didn't make a list. I'm just shooting.
No, I look on. It's on Google.
I'm also
just brought it up for me.
I'm also going to bring up some of the funnest.
Yes, absolutely. I think we have to, because they're not great doesn't mean they weren't good. They weren't fun to watch. And I'm sure the oddities are there for you as well.
Damn it! They really were. When I said the fun ones, I was going to bring up the oddities.
Of course.
What a dick! Dude, what a dick! You're supposed to say yours, and you threw me under a bus. Now it's not a surprise.
I'm sorry, I didn't know the oddities were going to be your big reveal. So yeah, I think DX has to be next because if you're going to NWO, they helped shift wrestling because, like we've said this before as well, there wasn't a 10 to 13-year-old boy who wasn't going into school and telling people to suck it. You know what I mean? Like it just, again, as far as
if you're going
pop culture,
if you're going hand gestures, I mean that and for life, and
of course the Click
and the Too Sweet, I mean, that's why I'm saying it's all interchangeable depending on like who and what you're looking at, and
they're all jumbled at the top because even the Bullet Club, who is another one who, if as far as the members themselves go and what
if you're looking at the core members, like because there's a lot of really good standalone too. And that's why I'm saying like some of the members, and I know I can't fully say this because I'm not 100% educated on the full Bullet Club. We would need Scott in here for that.
We would. Yeah,
we would. But I feel like once you get past like whoever was in it with like AJ, I mean, AJ's the center, the focal point. You got the Bucks in there, but there's a lot of.
I mean, Finn to start.
Finn, the Anderson. I don't think Gallows came in till later. I think it was Fale and Tamatanga.
I'm not going to correct you because
I know that's what I'm saying. Like we're not fully, but I always feel like there was one solid and a lot of good like role players. Like if you get what I'm saying, like you have a superstar, one superstar, and you have. I mean, that's basically, and they're so fucking watered down. They've had so many integrations. I think that hurts them.
I think the strongest part of it at the time, if you look at the group and when they were the strongest as far as the parts
and how many people were wearing Bullet Club shirts and they got Bullet Club shirts
and I think
Hot Topic and shit.
Paige, Villain, Bucks, and Omega, and Cody.
Like, I don't know if you throw Cody into that one.
I think Cody, obviously
you're
the
talking,
Elite. Yeah,
you're talking about the Elite.
Yeah, it's original.
In the
Elite. They were phenomenal.
In America, I would say that's right. I can't speak for over in Japan. Like who's the best? Because they had another Bullet Club over there at that point too. Like there was Bullet Club here and Bullet Club there.
Yeah,
here, there, everywhere, there. I would say Bullet Club. I mean, they kind of came in while we were in our 20s, our late 20s, and they made factions cool again.
Yes.
We're talking about the Horsemen, and then NWOs made factions cool, and then DX took it another step, and they made factions that for their show cool. Like those were your megastar, star-studded fucking factions.
Yeah.
I think Bullet Club made it cool again, but I wouldn't call them star-studded factions. I think there was too many. I mean, I think they've had really good people in the Bullet Club, like we said, Styles, Finn, Omega, the Bucks, Adam Cole.
Yeah,
they were really good members, but they didn't really have the impact like the other ones. They weren't really. They didn't make mainstream. Like they made like a really cool niche.
They got their t-shirt into t-shirts in a Hot Topic.
Yeah, but like still,
and I mean, the hottest selling t-shirt there. I mean, again, talk about NWO and DX. How many Bullet Club shirts were there? Look, how many Bullet Club shirts do me and you together own or owned? Like,
no, I still have probably 3 or 4. Yeah, they're cool. They were cool shirts.
You know what I mean?
But the shirt is almost cooler than the actual faction.
You're right. I'll give you that one. And that's where that T-shirt company thing started.
Yeah, that's where kind of you got to look and be like, all right, yeah, it's a cool shirt and it's a cool concept, but is it a great faction? I don't know if they even make – I mean, it's a teetering point of where I don't know if they make the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're great, and I think they made factions relevant and cool again. But, I mean, like, look – if you want to talk just star-studded and what they produced and what they did, the Shield.
Okay, I'm glad you touched on that.
I mean, the Shield was amazing. From start to finish, they were amazing.
There is a lump that is taking up this next period, and there's about 4 of them that I want to get your opinion on that we can go through, and because I think they are
But if I say the Shield, then in the same breath, I have to say the New Day.
Okay. Again, that's the second one I wanted.
Current, and if I'm talking, the Shield, Rollins, Roman, Ambrose, great faction, solid unity until Seth. I mean, Seth put an end to it, and then they all became megastars on their own. So them as a faction, I don't know if they're like them as stars on their own. Fucking incredible. But I think if you're talking about team and what you do as a team and a faction, I think New Day outweighs
because of the amount of success as far as tag team
as a faction.
Exactly.
As people that have never split.
10 times, right? 11 times.
They're always together. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're always together. They've never split for a really long time now. So I think New Day edges out the Shield. Are they big enough to be a bigger faction than the Bullet Club? I don't know.
So I'm gonna add 2 more to those 2.
Okay,
because they were in the 4. The Freebirds.
And you're talking about that era where there's going to be 60s, 50s, 70s people in that. I mean, I don't know if we're seeing too many 70 people make this argument if they care enough. Even in their 40s. I mean, I think there's people that would tell you the Freebirds were it.
And then more recently,
the Freebirds were fucking cool. The Freebirds were our version of the New Day.
Yes.
That was our generation. They were the Freebirds. They were fucking great. And they had their own tag rule made it the Freebird rule when they won the tag titles.
Yes.
They could interchanging parts. I mean, I can't speak on it because I didn't. I know the significance of the Freebirds.
Yes, but we did not live through them.
I didn't live it. Yeah. I'm not going to be one to be like, oh, well, I have the fucking internet. I can go look back in time. I'm going to talk about what I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can go back on the network and watch it. Yeah, it's cool. They were great. I get it. I get why people love them. I get why they were fucking cool and edgy and different.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I don't know what the fuck my hands are doing right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I hope you're listening and not watching because I just did some fucking wax on shit.
I was trying to follow your thought, but I couldn't stop watching your hands.
I caught my hand mid-conversation doing one of these. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I felt like Joe from Impractical Jokers trying to follow your hand as you gave me that. Like that was rough.
I was sitting there practicing fucking some mean blocking. So if you were to come at me with a fucking straight, I was fucking blocking that shit. There was no way that was sneaking through these fucking hands. I waxed off that thing.
Anyway, Freebirds. But I did want to bring one more in from more recent, and that's a Wyatt family. When you're talking about the Shield and you're talking about the New Day, I put Wyatt family in there because of...
I don't think they had the longevity.
Yeah, I know. And I don't longevity.
And I don't think they had.
The Shield don't have that much longevity either.
I know that's why they get pushed out.
Yeah, that's why I think New Day should be over there.
I'm making arguments of what they were great, and that's why I'm saying like interchangeable parts on this list. Wyatt family is one of those interchangeable parts. Like the Wyatt family was great. They were cool. They were different. Mm-hmm. They were awesome. Fucking early fucking. They made you like, wow, this is fucking creepy.
Yes,
like they gave you a feeling.
Yeah,
which is what you want. It's just that they took it away too early and they fucked it up. Because when you have a star and it's known, their biggest thing is, all right, we got to pull them out and we got to put them on their own and we got to break up a faction. Seth? I mean, I think they knew it with all of them. Well, at least Roman and Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I think they knew that. Bray, they knew Bray was going to break out and be a great single star. They just can't. They're not factions. They're not tag team. Like the ones today, they don't have, except for the New Day. They don't have the longevity in WWE. If you're looking at WWE factions, you lose it after the Attitude Era, where you're going to get like that Diamond in the Rough were an all-timer faction. And it was literally 3 people. It wasn't like a big faction.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It was just the New Day.
What about the Undisputed Era?
Oh, if they were, I mean, again, in today's landscape, if I were to forget about the Attitude Era, Undisputed Era would have been a top faction.
Mm-hmm.
They had the longevity. They did everything for their one little niche show.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that they built themselves big enough to that one audience. It could have been a big audience
in a vacuum.
Yeah.
With the Undisputed Era, for you know what I mean, for what they were,
they were incredible.
Yes,
they were.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, if you take away the past, because again, I think the Nation of Domination is better than
I love the Nation of Domination.
I think the Nation was better than the Undisputed Era, better than the Shield, the Wyatt family. Fuck, Nation of Domination was huge. It's that one star that they knew was going to break out.
Yeah.
And it's The Rock. I mean, obviously. I mean, fuck. Look where he's at now. They knew who the fucking star that was. I mean, Michaels kind of fucked up DX for a little bit, but Triple H held it together. And pretty much that's Triple H's baby, if anything, DX. I mean, they started it together, but
yeah. I mean, look, you have that run where I think most people remember DX more for the one without Shawn Michaels than with Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got the tank going to, or the truck going to WCW.
When you tell me DX, that's the first thing that comes to mind when you say DX. And then I think second is the windshield wiper bit that they did against Sergeant Slaughter. That's my 1 and 2 when you say DX.
When you say DX.
And then I think of some of the shitty stuff, like literally shitty. They drop shit on the Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
But that was late.
That was late DX. Yeah, that was the third version of DX.
Yeah, but the third.
Or DX 2.0.
Their versions were always the same people, though. The versions of everybody else were always different people. They just kept bringing back the same people. Like DX was always the same people. When you think of DX, you think of Michaels, Triple H, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, X-Pac, China. Those are the only ones you think of.
No, you're right.
That's it.
You're right. Yeah.
Those are the only ones and that's the only one you can really say that about of that era. I mean, New Day was always Kofi, Xavier, Big E.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, Wyatt family was always 3 people. But that was 3 people. I just rallied off 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was it was different. Like, can't do that with NWO. You'd be here fucking forever.
Yes. No.
You'd literally be here forever.
Can't
Horsemen.
Again.
All new people.
Yes.
Who would be here forever, but
luckily
it was they were only in 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, DX is like one of the only big ones that you can say that about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Nation, I think.
Are we missing any really greats that we haven't?
You mentioned the Heart. You mentioned the Heart Foundation.
There's a couple
there is. I mean, the Heart Foundation was great. The Heart Foundation was all the same members.
Mm-hmm. See, and
the Heart Foundation started out as
the tag team. Yes, and then they
built it into the rest of the family.
But I loved I love to hate is that Heart Foundation.
Yeah, the Canadian
is the Owen, Brett, Bulldog, and Pillman.
The bad guys. They were the bad guys in America, the good guys in Canada.
They were so much fun to hate.
Yeah.
And they were so entertaining. Yeah. And then when they did the anti-American stuff and they were going up against Michaels and it was so much fun to hate them, but you knew how good they were. Like, regardless if you hate them or not, you knew how good Brett was, obviously.
You had some of the best people in the ring.
Yeah.
There was no slouch.
No.
on the Hart Foundation. I mean, Brett was
head and shoulders above.
Well, I mean, when it comes to star power, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the Hart Foundation, if you're going to go, who's the best wrestling faction? I mean, I think it might be the Hart Foundation. If you're to actually say a wrestling faction, Bulldog puts on some fucking great matches.
Yes. Yep.
Owen's Owen. Brett's Brett.
I feel like Bulldog in the ring is underrated.
Yeah, I think he was too. Well, he turned himself into a big power guy.
Yeah.
And he was just doing power moves. I mean, you can't really fault him. I mean, that's pretty much Vince being like, all right, you're huge. Just do a running power slam.
Yeah.
Hart Foundation.
Oh, Dangerous Alliance.
I was getting to that.
Okay. You talk about a collection of
who's
of talent. Yes. Yeah.
And the head of that was Rick Rude.
Yes.
That was the head of the Dangerous Alliance. He was their ace. I mean, Paulie Dangerously was the mouthpiece, and he was
obviously
the guy behind it. Then you have Medusa in there, and you have Eaton, Zbyszko, Stunning Steve Austin. It was a great fact. Talk about a faction that you love to hate.
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching, that's who you love to hate. Because again, who did the Dangerous Alliance align against? Sting. So again, that's why you hated Bret Hart. That's why I hated the Dangerous Alliance.
I get it.
I mean, Rick Rude was the perfect foil for Sting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and those two, I remember hating Rick Rude, hating him. The whole telephone drop from the cage from Paulie Dangerously was imprinted in my mind.
When you said it, I saw it happen in my head. Like, I agree. It's into my memory.
Yeah, I remember that watching that. I don't even know how old I was, but that in my mind was like the worst.
It was so good, though.
It really
was so good.
When you go back, I mean, you look at the Dangerous Alliance and like who they like. Yeah, Rude was the front runner then, but you also had Steve Austin in there.
Don't forget, he and Eaton, one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time.
Eaton's just one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If you want to talk about underrated, Bobby Eaton was probably up there on most underrated wrestler. I mean, he never had a huge personality. He was always just always a solid person.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could have a good match with Bobby Eaton.
Yeah, and usually did.
If given the time, he was able to get that out of you.
So we'll switch over to like the more fun ones, if we want to say. But I feel like there are some in here that they're on the fringe of this list as well.
Of relevancy and like not so much.
And just pop culture, wrestling culture more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know about pop culture. I think we got the pop culture ones.
We got the pop culture out. So obviously number one for what we want to do with the fun ones was the Oddities.
Yeah, it was just complete fucking. It was ridiculousness.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculousness and entertaining, maybe. Entertaining back then,
at the time, yes,
very entertaining. Entertaining now, not so much.
No,
but it was fucking bizarre, and it was so goofy that it fucking worked
for some reason.
And if you're going to talk comedy, you can't leave out the BWO,
of course. I
mean, ECWs, and that was. I love ECW at that point. It was just anything that they did was cool. And then you had the BWO come up, and
everything worked for them.
Yeah,
everything worked for them.
They had the right audience. They had their own audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at GCW now, like everybody who loves GCW, everything that they do is incredible.
Yes, yeah,
it's like the same audience, probably different scales, maybe different scales. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I mean, when we go to a GCW event, when we've gone to live events, it feels like, again, if it feels like when people talk about ECW Arena, that's how it feels. It feels
just people going
inclusive.
Nuts.
It feels
everyone's there to have fucking
exactly
incredible time, and they know they're going to, no matter what.
Yeah. That's one thing about GCW. They deliver. I don't think I've ever walked away or turned off a GCW event and went, man, that really wasn't that good. They didn't, because it's always a great show regardless.
They always meet their expectations, like what I expect,
or surpass them
in some cases. But usually, I get what I expect, and I expect a good show, and it's usually that's what I get.
Yeah, absolutely.
There could be some things you don't like, but fucking they put out so much good that you're just like, oh well, like, you can have a couple things I don't like.
Of course, yeah. No one's perfect.
That's every So BWO, the Oddities.
I'm gonna throw one of my favorites in that obviously belongs. I think is the Ministry. I love the Ministry. It was one of my favorite storylines in wrestling history.
That's
period.
an interesting one because that's another one with a huge star,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone else was pretty much lower tier, minus Bradshaw and
Simmons. The acolytes were right
they
there.
were one of the top tag teams.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, you had Viscera, you had Midian, which I thought he was hilarious when he kind of turned after the Ministry, and that was I loved his character then. But no, as a scary, creepy
gothic,
that will just engulf you as a faction and completely beat you down. It was amazing. And then you had him abducting Stephanie and the burning bear and McMahon on his knees. It was just seeing the house with it burning in front of the McMahon mansion, like everything they did. It was, God, I cannot wait for next week. I can't wait for Monday Night Raw next week. It was awesome.
I didn't watch a lot of the Ministry.
That's a storyline you got to go back and watch. It is so good. I hope it holds up.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I've definitely seen bits and pieces of the storyline. Like the Burning Cross.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And again, because I said it in the Ministry, the first thing, again, you said when you think of DX or what the first thing you think of, the first thing I think of is McMahon on his knees crying to a burning teddy bear. It was ridiculous TV. It was almost unbelievable that you saw this. And like, it was just probably one of my favorite storylines of all time is the Ministry of Darkness. And then the corporate ministry, because that runs into the McMahon being the higher power, and it's me, Austin. And then you had him with Shamrock and like Triple H and China. It was just madness.
All right. You're jogging my memory on a couple of other factions. You said Shamrock, and I was like, all right, what about the Union?
Oh, yeah. The
Union. What was that? Big Show, Mankind, Shamrock. We're forgetting a really good one.
What?
A really good, bad one.
Okay.
Right to Censor.
I was going to say, when you said those guys, I was thinking Right to Censor. Yes. Yeah. Godfather, or the Good Father.
Yeah.
Not the Godfather. The Good
Val
Father.
Venus.
Val Venus, Ivory. And
how good was Ivory?
Bald guy. Who was the bald guy?
Oh.
Tyson Tomko?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Tyson Tomko, I believe.
I think you're right.
But yeah, they were amazing. Amazing. Remember, Sable came out and they brought the Right to Censor signs in front of her when she was stripping.
We're missing a faction we didn't even say that could be in the top 5.
That's what I said to you. I said, are we missing one?
Yeah.
And because I felt like we were.
We are. And it's from not one of the 2 promotions that we've been talking about, or 3 if you want to throw in New Japan.
Okay.
TNA. Now who am I thinking of?
Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights.
Pisses me off because I was just talking today about us doing this show and going, I need to make sure I get Aces and Eights in there. And I completely fucking spaced.
You want to talk? Well, that one also, it started out hot and it got hot once they did the reveal and all that. And then it kind of downhill.
Although I don't think it raises to the level of WCW and WWE stables because of, again, the reach, the impact.
Yeah.
Granted, it is another one of the greatest storylines I've ever seen in wrestling. But where its size is the problem.
It had the good shock and awe value.
Constant.
Yeah.
Constant questioning. Constantly swerving down a complete different path that you didn't think it was going to take.
It just, I think you're right for the magnitude. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, I don't know. They're definitely in that interchangeable,
Believe me, I agree. They're one of my favorites.
I don't think there is, here's the thing. The Bullet Club is just more well-known. Mm-hmm. And I keep going back and forth on the Bullet Club inching in or inching out of the top 5. Right now, I can't put them ahead of the Heart Foundation. I won't. I won't. I just won't do it.
Well, you don't have to. This is our list. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Brett's better than any leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Why are you trying to fit certain in? This isn't a numbered or anything.
No,
I'm
I
just gonna go over it.
Yeah, I know. But I think now that I think about it, I'm like, all right, so we got a 1, 1A, and 2, or 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Depending on who you want to look at it. Like, who's the 4 and 5 if you're to rank them? No, because
I think the New Day have to be in top 5, period.
Okay. I will not fight you on that. I think that so it comes down to Heart Foundation.
Who's top 3? 4 Horsemen,
NWO,
DX are 1, 2, 3. Okay.
And then New Day
with 4.
So now you have Freebirds, which I don't think we're putting in. We have the Heart Foundation, which is there.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet Club, and I don't know, Nation of Dominations.
I don't think they make the list.
I don't think they make the top 5.
No,
I think they're right on that border. Like they're top 10 for sure.
Man, if I'm putting anybody in, because I have everyone we talked about on this list that I'm looking at. Oh my God, it's hard. And
yeah,
I think
like who edges who out, and how do you justify it? Like, because it's all someone probably already has a top 5 list, and it's probably a good list. Like, how do you justify taking one out?
You don't. It's honestly it's all a matter of opinion. Yeah. It really is. And if it was me, now you could have a different number 5.
All right.
But all in all, if I'm putting number 5 on there, I'm putting on the Shield.
Really?
Yes. Because the one good, the thing, wait, stop.
Hold on.
I pulled a Joe and I had a light bulb and I completely forgot one that we've been talking about this whole time and we haven't even mentioned it. And it's number 5, if not 4. It's Evolution.
Oh, shit.
Evolution.
How the fuck did we miss that?
That's what I'm saying. I knew we were forgetting a really, really important one. Evolution.
Oh, fuck.
Below, right there.
Shit, you're right. Shit.
They are 4 and New Day is 5. Or they can be interchangeable.
Yeah, I think those are interchangeable.
Yeah.
I think longevity helps.
But that made that a lot easier.
Yeah. You want to talk just sheer star power. Those are all Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the WWE's Hall of Fame, which they could
whatever that means.
They can put in whoever they want. But
yeah.
I mean, you got to look at career. I mean, the worst one is Batista. That's a pretty good last fucking resort.
You're
Dax.
Right.
We got
you're right.
Flair, Triple H, and Randy Orton combined have like 40-some championships. I don't even think I'm off.
I don't know.
I think I'm close.
No, you are. Well, don't forget how many iterations of Evolution were tag team champions. I know, obviously, it was Flair and Batista, but wasn't it Flair and Orton or Orton Batista?
I think it was Orton Batista.
Orton Batista for sure as well. But I don't know if Flair and Orton ever won them together.
I don't know, but that's a pretty fucking successful.
They are top 5.
Evolution, man. See, that's what happens when you don't prep, but sometimes that's good because someone was sitting there the whole time, be like, they haven't said Evolution. Are they fucking stupid? We probably are missing still one or two.
I guarantee we are. I'm going to be so mad when I think about it.
We didn't say the LWO. They could be up there. The Latino World Order.
No, they can't. They could be way down there.
Way down
there. Not up there. No. Because if we're putting the LWO on there, I'm putting from ECW. I'm putting what is the ECW? The Italians.
Oh, the FBI.
Thank you. God, the FBI. I put the FBI over the LWO.
Oh, wow. What are we missing? We're definitely missing something.
We're missing a lot. I guarantee it.
I don't think we are.
I guarantee we are.
I don't think
we're missing Los Barricos from they were the other Puerto Rican faction in the more popular one in WWE. And what were the bikers during the Attitude Era who sat by Shawn Michaels after he screwed Bret Hart and he cried in the locker room? but they sat next to him. The twins. They were bald white twins. They were in.
Right now. I'm thinking about other factions that we missed. Wasn't Taka Michinoku in a faction? Kaientai.
I actually like Kaientai.
Yeah.
Funaki.
The choppy hey pee pee.
Of course. Can't forget the Val Venus angle with Kaientai.
Dude, I was thinking about not that, but I was like,
that's gonna bother me. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, sure. You space out for a second.
Keep going.
I was thinking about ridiculous moments in wrestling. Like I put
ridiculous moments, and what were you thinking of?
I was thinking Val Venus getting his dick chopped off, and Mae Young giving birth to a hand. When you think of like,
and you don't think of Katie Vick in there as well? Because I was waiting for that one as well.
Yeah, you get that. I mean, the two that stand out like most. There's so many ridiculous moments.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of another one. Shane McMahon with jumper cables on his tits.
That was so good, though, at the time.
Yeah, but it
was like, so good.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It's just like the ridiculousn's that wrestling has produced.
When randomness.
Yeah,
as
random is all hell.
Randomness.
Kaientai.
And I really, really, it's killing me that I can't find this name, and I can't think of it at all.
Who are we thinking about? I wasn't even listening.
The two bald twins, I think their names were Ball and Chain for WWE. They were the bikers, and they kept feuding with. They did Nation of Domination. They had a really good feud with Nation of Domination. But I cannot, and I wish like we had callers that someone could tell me, stupid, it's this name, but I cannot think of it at all.
All right. Well, we'll put a comments section down in our.
It's killing me.
That's all right.
And I can't even find it.
You're gonna find it later and text me.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. I'm gonna find it later because I'll be done and I can't fucking find it. I don't know. I can't find it, and it's bothering the shit out of me, and will always bother the shit out of me. Well, I can't think of any others that we missed though, aside from that.
No, I think we got the substantial ones finally.
I'm just so glad we've
Evolution snuck its way in there.
I can't believe we forgot it for that long. That's horrible.
Because you just think you're like, man, there was like just so many ridiculous fucking.
Out of everything,
we had the fucking. Why am I blanking on their names now? Guerrero, Benoit, Perry Saturn.
Oh, yeah. When they invaded WWE.
What the fuck was their name?
During the Radicals.
Radicals.
Yes.
It was
Disciples of Apocalypse.
Did you find
was
it?
Their name. Yes. The one member was the fake Undertaker.
Oh, DOA.
Yes. Thank you. That was them there. And if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah. Oh my God. I feel so much better now.
That's good.
I think we can end the show now because
what a relief.
That kills me.
Yeah,
had that on my back.
You had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, that was horrible. I'm sorry about that.
We're going to end the show on DOA. That's what we're going to end the show on.
And that's the beauty of this episode of Factions and Stables.
Yeah, the randomness that it produces, and it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
The DOA.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Do you?
No, I had.
What?
Well, it was gonna be a stupid one, but
what's that?
I can't think of it.
My fault. I apologize. That's my fault for sure.
The LOD 2000.
This is horrible.
No,
that's a no.
Draws.
I mean, no.
No draws.
No, that's really bad. That's way down there.
All right.
Yeah, we can end on that. That's much.
What about
better.
Demolition? Axe, smash, and crush. Because once you throw crush in there, you're like,
yeah. I was like,
dilutes it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I see you're down the face paint aisle right now.
Yeah. Who else we had those face paint?
No, we gotta end this show.
All right,
we hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching, and we'll be talking to you very soon.